girl boss this and slay that. But what about girls who are just massive losers? What about girls who aren't bossing? What about girls who don't slay? I just feel like we don't talk enough about girls who are really pathetic.
She's useless.
I hear a lot of men talking about hoflation and how modern men have to put in 20 times more effort to bag a woman that has like a fraction of the value compared to like what his grandfather had to do in like the 1950s or earlier. But I don't hear anyone talking about the counter to this, where women today are literally settling for men who have testosterone levels the equivalent of what like a 60-year-old would have had in the 1950s. I don't hear anyone talking about how like the muscle mass of men has diminished so much that it's literally like shocking when you look back to footage of like 1950s, 60s, how shredded our country was and how jacked the guys were and like ripped, like how safe that must have felt for a woman being in the presence of these men. Like no one is talking about any of that. How many literal soy boys and like highly estrogenic men we have to sift through in the dating market. Clear moment I remember a few months ago, I was on the beach and I was just looking around at all of the men on the beach, and all I saw were like very skinny men with no muscle mass, very soft, like effeminate looking men, soft features, softer jawlines, and overweight men. There was like not one man that I physically felt safe like being around, as in he could like defend me. And I don't think women really understand like the implications of this. And we don't understand it because we've really never had it in modern day. Like modern day has made men very weak and very lazy. And so that's literally the only context that we have. But when you study testosterone and you look back at images of men from like the 1940s, their physical, like facial structures even look way different. Their faces are much wider, their jaw is much sharper, and that's just like a physical indication of what having high testosterone looks like in the male body. So what ends up happening anyways is women settle for weak men because it's what's on the market, and frankly most of them don't really know any better.
These days, if a man has too much testosterone and muscle mass, he is told he suffers from toxic masculinity. They're literally trying to make men more sensitive because that's what women are saying they want. But as we can see here, they're saying something different. It's like they can never make their minds up.
It's so useless.
I think that instead of telling women that we have terrible taste in men, we should consider that a lot of men are very good at faking who they are at the beginning. And when you're being love bombed, when things start to change, you end up waiting for the person that you met at the start to come back. It's not that you have terrible taste or that you enjoy being treated badly, it's that you are struggling to believe that the person that you met at the beginning could be treating you this way. And you're just waiting for that person to come back. And it takes a long time to realise that they're not going to come back.
Come on, don't bullshit me.
Tell me why every time I see a guy casually and I tell them my intentions, I'm like, I don't want anything serious, I don't want anything long term, they end up falling in love with me. And then the guys that I want something serious with and I tell them that, they end up leading me on and screwing me over. Make it make sense.
Nobody cares.